So that's what the heel piece looks like. And now we're going to what is called turn the heel, which is to make this corner. You can see the corner here, the triangle. We're going to do that part, and that's the shape that goes around the back of your heel when you're wearing your socks. You can see how it looks when it's flat. So this piece is the flap, and we're now going to make this. So you start with a wrong side row on a purl row, and if you're working from a sock pattern, you just follow the instructions. It's very straightforward. It always starts by slipping the first stitch. On this one, I'm going to purl part way along the row, and the number of stitches that I need to purl along the row, I know how many I need to do with 20 stitches, but it will tell you in your pattern exactly how many you need to do for the number of stitches you have on your needle. So I'm going to purl 11 stitches. Then I'm going to purl the next 2 stitches together. Then I'm going to purl 1 more stitch, and then I'm going to turn everything round and go back the other way and ignore those stitches on the end. I'm going to slip the first stitch. I'm going to knit 5 stitches, and then I'm going to make another decrease on this side, but I'm going to do a slip 1, knit 1, pass a slip stitch over, decrease, and then knit the next stitch. And then I'm going to turn the work round and I'm going to go back the other way. So I'm going to continue to do that little sequence on these stitches until I've used up all the stitches on the end. You can see the shape is starting to form along the edge and turning the heel. It's a standard sequence that turns the heel, and it works for any number of stitches. You can see I've got 2 stitches left on either side now. I've nearly used them up, and it's turning into a little diamond, a little triangle shape. There is another method of turning a heel called a Dutch heel, which I'm not going to demonstrate today, but if you've got this far with your knitting your sock and you can read a basic knitting pattern, you'll have absolutely no problem following the stitch pattern, the knitting pattern, and turning your Dutch heel. So I have no stitches left on this needle now. So we've made the heel, and now we want to join this part of the heel and make this shape. This bit is quite important. You need your work, the right side facing you, the yarn attached to this stitch, and this is the left side of your sock. And this is where the little loops become really important. So you'll see those loops that we made by not knitting the first stitch when we were making the heel. So now we're going to create stitches by putting the needle into these loops, and this is called pick up and knit. So it's like a knitting action. You put it inside the loop, put the yarn around the needle, and pull the yarn through. So you've made a stitch in the little loop. So when you get to the end, you've joined up the side of the heel to the ankle part of the sock. Then you're going to knit the stitches from these 2 needles that have been sitting, waiting, doing nothing, onto one needle. And again, this is a very important thing to remember, to have the distribution of these stitches exactly as I'm describing, because this is what makes it easy to do all of the shaping and keep control of your piece of work. The stitches that I'm knitting now will be the instep part of the sock that's going to come from the front, down the front of the shin and over the top of your foot. And they all need to be on one needle. These are the stitches. These are the stitches that I've just knit across one needle. there, so it's come down the front of the sock and then down to the instep like that.